All right, so if you have been following us for a very long time, you should be familiar with some strategies that we use in predicting basketball over point or maybe probably under point. But naturally, so far, I have shared with you guys major three strategies relating to predicting how to predict basketball over point. And we have different method and style, like using the classical, or let me call it the basic strategy, and that one seems to be some kind of very strict, and it is accurate, but sometimes you may be finding it hard to get up to like 3 games. The maximum games you can get mostly in a day using that strategy most times will just be maybe 3 games or 2 games. And if you are to use the risky line and the save line, that risky line means the average line that the bookmakers often use to set the odd line, and the save line happens to be that you are attempting to play safe. That is, you are going with a smaller odds, and there are to determine your save line. That one depends on how safe you want your games to be. You'll be the one in charge to subtract from the risky line. Now I just shared another one which happens to be using the average odd line set by the bookmakers. So we are going to apply this 3 method. I'm going to show you guys, I'm going to explain and display this 3 method with you guys in this particular edition. So we are going to use that to select our basketball prediction, which happens to be a very long tips. And make sure that you engage these particular predictions with care, because nothing is actually 100% accurate. And this is sport and it involves human, so the dynamism can actually cost us. So let us make sure that you pay attention to details. And if you have any question, please kindly drop it in the comment section. So we should be able to get enough games for tomorrow, and we are going to look into some of the major leagues that we have there. So we are going to look into the USCWNBA. We are going to check the Australia leagues, and I think that's all. We don't really have enough games on basketball for now. I think probably until some of these particular major leagues resume, like the NBA and some other European leagues like that. So let us talk about using the basic, or let me call it my classical basketball over point strategy. This one actually involves checking the league average point and checking the two teams average point. And this particular platform that I'm using provides the data relating to that. And if I want to check it, I usually check this section. So if you are looking at this USAWNBA league average point, it is actually 173.8. You can see it below here. And these two teams average point is 163. You can see that the league average point is now higher than the two teams average point. If you want to predict over point, always make sure that the two teams average point is actually higher than the league average point. As the league average point is 173, any games that you want to predict as over point, their average point must be higher, maybe 174, 175. Or if you don't want to be stressing yourself, you are going to see this green arrow here. Whenever it is showing like a faint green, it shows that the two teams average point is always lower than the league average point. So this kind of game are games that you need to avoid. And if you also want to use the if you want okay, let me complete the basic strategy for you. So if you are using the basic strategy, let's say that you check the league average point and the two teams average point. Let's assume that the two teams average point is higher than the league average point. Then what you just need to do next, nothing concern you again with the two teams average point. You are now having business with the league average point, which is 173. Had it been that these two teams average point is higher than the league average point, you will be dealing with the league average point. And what will you be doing with the league average point? Since the league average point is 173, what I always do is that whenever I'm having situations like that, I will subtract 10 points from 173 and I'll be getting 163. 163 will be my over point. And most times, the bookmakers will not provide you the 163 unless they know that the two teams that are involved happens to be teams that don't usually play over point. So we are able to get this easily. You can see we still have extra line behind 163. We are able to get this because the bookmakers knows that these two teams, their average point is not as good. The average point is actually lower than the league average point. So now that is very simple on that, but it will be very difficult for you to see games like that every time. And most times, the odd line that you'll be seeing will be around maybe 1.2. You won't be able to get big odds using that particular strategy, but the accuracy is very very high. Now, when we are talking about the risky line, which happens to be the number two strategy, the risky line and the save line strategy. That one deals with considering these factors as we consider in the basic strategy. You need to make sure that the league average point is higher, the two teams' average point is higher than the league average point, right? And after that, you are not concerned about the league average point anymore, just like the basic strategy. What you need to be doing next is to check the last previous games, the average points scored, average points considered, pick the smallest from it all. You need to pick the smallest total point, the smallest total point, and the highest total point, and that one will give us the risky line. So when you get the risky line, let's say the risky line says maybe one, maybe the risky line says 165. So for me, I always subtract 10. Now it depends on you. Anything I want to do relating to basketball, I always subtract 10. And the reason why I used to subtract 10 is because I studied it for a very long time. I've been doing it for a very long time. Before I was subtracting 5. It got to a point I was subtracting 15. So it depends on you. You can decide to be subtracting 2. You can decide to be subtracting 3. It depends on how safe you want your games to be. If you have the opportunity to even subtract 50, you are good to go. So far, the bookmakers will provide you the line because they know what they are doing. Now, this game doesn't qualify for me at all. But let's say we want to use the average line. What you just need to do is that you need to come down to the bookmakers odd line like this. You can see this one. They are provide they are giving us they are providing us with extensive odd line, even for us to be having something like this 1.2 in basketball line. You can see that they are providing extensive odd line. Now you need to look into the average odd line, the middle line. That is what you need to check. So the middle line should be around this place. Are you getting it? You can see the middle line should be around this place, these 4 points. So let me just count. Should be around this place. Yeah, so 174 happens to be the middle line. So this is the middle line. So this is what will give you the insight of what the bookmakers are actually favoring. So since we have 190 and 191, it shows that the bookmakers are actually expecting over points in this particular game. They are expecting over points. So that is all about using the you know middle odd line of the bookmakers. But if you want to combine everything together, it may actually take your time, and most times you won't be able to. The first strategy that I explained, you won't be able to actually utilize that very well because it will be very hard for you to be getting games with that strategy. But the accuracy is very very high. Now naturally, this game I don't want to predict it at all because the two teams average point is too low compared to that of the league average point. So let's say we want to select our games on these particular basketball games, and let's see the average point of the team. So you can actually start applying this method, the process in each of the three methods. You can apply it. So this one also, you can see the league average point is 173, the average 169. So skip. If you check the stats, the head to head here, you can see this is 171. It is lower than the league average point of 173. Okay, you can see this one is 183. It is higher than the league average points. Now, let's assume that I want to use the strategy of our basic strategy. I'll be subtracting 10 from 173, which is 173 is the league average point, and I'll be going for 163. But the bookmakers will not provide it. You can see what I'm talking about. So that is one thing about the strategy. Now, if you want to use the risky line and the save line, the risky line is actually 175. That is after checking their last 5 games. That is the risky line. If at all you want to take the risk on this game, you should not be going anything above 175. Now, if you want to play safe, you're supposed to be going for 165. If you check their smallest average point for the home team and the away team, I've made a video on how to get your risky line and the save line actually. So this is the save line, this is the risky line. The risky line is 175, and I subtracted 10 as I explained earlier, and I was able to get 165. Now see what the bookmakers are providing. The 180 happens to be the smallest. Actually, probably maybe a few minutes to the game, probably maybe they will, uh provide lower odd lines for this game, because this is 151. And let's say we want to use the middle line. You need to check what the bookmakers are favoring. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this seems to be the middle line. You can see the bookmakers are actually favoring over point. You can see this is the middle odd line. So this game is naturally over point, but it is not aligning with the risky line. Even where if you want to take the risk, you should not be taking any risk above 175. You should not be playing anything above 176. No, don't play over 176. You are taking a big risk. 175 on its own is a risk. So the bookmakers know what they are doing, but probably they will still, provide lower odd line, and let's see how it goes. And this. So we're having issues with getting games because most of the leagues are not, they haven't started. So this 182, this is a good data, and using the basic strategy, we'll be going for 163. See what they are providing, 189. Although probably they will still open the odds, but and let me see what the bookmakers are favoring actually. So this happens to be the middle line, and what I'm currently seeing here, the bookmakers are actually favoring under point. This is the one. This is 192, and this is 185. The bookmakers are favoring under point. They are favoring under point actually. So let's skip this league. So you guys can actually apply this strategy on some other leagues. We are limited with games. For real. So please kindly drop your question in case you have any question, and please don't engage with any basketball games if the data is not aligning with your analysis. Kindly take note of this, and don't forget to like this particular video, subscribe to this channel if you are just joining us, and if you have any question, please drop it in the comment section for more explanation. See you guys in the next edition. Bye bye.